she hates the night, 'cause that's when he leaves her. Oh, unbeliever. Lekker. Hello. Hello, now, sister.
Thank you for saying hi. It's probably Shannon.
Oh, dit lees niet. Oeh, jette.
Damn it, the Reddit isn't actually going live. I'm gonna have to start this one over. Even better this way. Uncle Bick is still
There's
streaming.
some with seed pods. So what you do is you pick them with a paper towel. Like
She hates the
same
night,
thing for a prickly pear. Yeah.
'cause that's when he leaves her.
That's-
Uncle Becky has a friend over. Hello again, Shannon. Thank you for joining me, friend. Now it doesn't allow me to stream. Of course, Shannon. Why not, right? Why not all of the ridiculousness?
Okay, so wanneer ek 'n paar suiker het is mee.
I think aan hierdie kant.
Het 'n pysie op jou kop.
Ja, ek het kry hulle nog eens baie.
Dis vreemd.
Dit is van die tyd toe ek watervalkies gehad het in my kop gekrap het. Ek weet, dankie so baie.
Ja, kom ek dit sê is die ding wat jou lekker plak nie.
It's getting there. Kind of looks like a devil's horn, yeah.
Ek weet dalk hierdie kan sit soos dat hy actually
Let's try. Let's try.
Ag, my gesig afval nie.
You have a very nice voice, Mel sister, doesn't she?
Ja, thank you. I appreciate that.
We got the good voice boxes.
But ja. Ek dink dit gaan ook makliker werk hierdie kant. Nie hoor hierdie kant. So meer struktuur.
As jy nog sinne wil maak, dalk die flappy bietjie meer aan die kant sit. Volgende keer. Still looks like a horn. I mean,
Smaak gesig sê.
let me see something. That's where it has to go.
Wil hierdie een vergeet?
Sick! It has to do. It's a start. It is a start. Dankie Sissa, ek waardeer dit.
Sien, ek het selfs vir jou steentjie knippie in jou oor gesit, dit lyk so sterre.
It's a little studded one apparently, so it looks like stars, she says.
Dis is vir jou nog 'n maand, dan moet jy terug.
Dankie Sissa. Sick! Here we are on another day. Dankie Sissa, lekker dag vir jou. Lekker movie kyk. Woo! What a day! What a day! What a day again. You know, like I keep getting schooled. Begin to cultivate the deliberate practice of recognizing that you are in a field of energy that is your perfect servant. That you are in a field of energy that is your perfect servant. The message that came through to me today is that I don't need to know everything. I just need to know who I am. And it sounds so simple. It sounds so trivial almost. And yet, we don't know who we are. Or at least, we don't want to know who we are. We want to be lesser than that. Either because of the societal bias, because it's not acceptable for us to be powerful, it's not acceptable for us to be emotional, it's not acceptable for us to be sensitive, or the opposite. It's not acceptable for us to be powerful, bright, in your face, if you will. But it's no longer a story of whether or not it's acceptable. Now it is required. It is going to be required of us to believe and to know who we are, more so than it's ever been. And it's going to take all of us, friends. It's literally going to take every single one of us, and we have to awaken. We have to awaken to who we are as a collective. We have to awaken to the power that we've been given, to the realization that we are within an energy field, and this energy field is our perfect servant, like on a very real level, that we are never separate from that. And I had that moment again today where I just had to acknowledge that I am not separate. Melty getting his hair did. I did get my hair done. God, thank you for joining me, friend. It's nice to have you here. Uncle Becky is sharing all of the good. Can one of you tell me who's with Uncle Becky right now? Like I saw a friend there, but I don't think I recognize him. At least not at first. You probably would though, Gob. Let me know if you can. Good day. I'm watching. Thank you for joining me. JB Frog? Oh, okay. What a cool coincidence. I haven't seen him in a while on stream, but what a freaking trip. What a trip, dude. Like, we're starting to do it. Gob, we're actually starting to believe, man. And it's something that is actually melting my mind as of late, where I'm almost intimidated. I'm almost scared in some ways. And then I notice that fear and I remember who I am. And then it's that back and forth. He is banjo picking guitar strumming epic singer. He is a loving expression of that which we are. Thank you for letting me know, Gob. I knew you would be able to. You're an air sign. Yes, an air sign. So like my mind goes into like a few different fractals. An air sign. I see a sign in the middle of the air. Then I see a little, depiction of air as a sign. And then I see myself as the air, giving you a sign. I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to mean, Crafty, but thank you, friend. Thank you for seeing me. It's an asparagus. Yes, there we go, Gob. Now we're getting to the depths of it. It's an asparagus. Elizabeth is his dog. Cannot remember his name. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. And then I noticed that confusion. And what what we do? I acknowledge who I am. That I am. In this moment, that I'm breathing. That I am awareness. That I am presence. That I am love. That I am caring. And the more we remind ourselves of these things that we know about ourselves, the more powerful we become. And it's at this point where I feel I'm hitting a wall with how willing I am to acknowledge myself. Where I feel if I do, I'm being an asshole, or I'm not being humble, or I'm not being down to earth enough, however you want to say it. And on the outside, there is more and more recognition happening. And then it's this back and forth, like not being willing to acknowledge who we are, because why? Very wise and spiritual. Born in October or September. No, friend, I was born in May. I was born in this month. Thank you, though, for asking. Long hair, don't care. It grows this way out of my head, friend, and then I just let it keep doing that, and then it keeps growing. How about that? You're a beautiful human. No, you, muted songbird. Thank you. Thank you for saying that to me. You know, like that. Just that, dude. Like that. That is exactly what I'm talking about today. Acknowledging that you are a beautiful human. Like, and the title for today is "You Don't Have to Know Everything, Friend." You really do not have to know everything. It's impossible for us to know everything. The only thing that you can know, the only thing that you have to know, is who you are. Who are you, friend? You've been asking yourself that question. You know the answer. You do know the answer. But the answer is so freaking surreal that you're like, nah, that can't be right, can it? Can it? Can it be right? Is it right? Huh? Are you gonna start believing who you are? What is that going to do? What is that going to do to you? What is it going to do to the people around you? What is it going to do to your dogs, you know, the way you treat your family members, the way you treat your beloved, the way you treat everything. Once you acknowledge who you are. Once you acknowledge who you are. And it's so surreal when we do that. And we stop. We gain a level of awareness, we gain a level of acceptance of ourselves, and then we let go of it again. And then, you know, a bunch of stuff happens, and then a bunch of information gets transmitted to us. We realize things again, we see things again that convince us, that show us, you know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that which we are, that loving awareness, that presence within this universe, instead of not being present within this universe. And we get this sense of awe and like genuine amazement with the moment, and then we forget about it again. we get completely disillusioned. We let it go. We let ourselves go. And then we feel that drifting, you know, oh, I'm lost. Oh, I don't have power. Oh, I am scared. Oh, I am shy. Oh, I can't do things. Oh, I am not worthy. Oh, no, 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 no. Story, story, story. And then you realize that that is not serving you. And then you make a switch. And you remember who you are. And you feel that moment. And you feel this presence. And then the whole cycle starts over again. And I have to remind myself actively, genuinely actively, of that which we are. And it can be exhausting sometimes, but we are required to, friends. Now more so than ever, we are required to acknowledge who we are. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to find what it is we're looking for. Ourselves. Our ability to be happy. Our ability to see the beauty instead of finding fault. Like we've lived in our left brain, you can call it, our masculine hemisphere for so long that we have completely abused and disconnected from our feminine sides. The nurturer, the one that gives ceaselessly, the one that loves, the one that provides. Life is surreal. It really is surreal. And the more we acknowledge it, the more we acknowledge ourselves within it, the more surreal it becomes, you know. And that's the crazy thing. Like, it's not only the fact that with this journey, with this mission of self-acknowledgement and, you know, like power to each and every single one of the people that choose to tune in, not only have you, friends, become more powerful, not only have you, friends, started recognizing yourself more, but in doing so, you acknowledge other people's power. You acknowledge the power within other people, and you get to see that, and you get to transmit that. And then that, again, empowers them. And then you empower them back, and then they empower you. And if we can keep doing that, if we can keep remembering who we are first, and then remind one another of who we are second, this world is going to change so rapidly. And it's already happening. It is already happening. You've seen it. You've already seen it starting to happen, right? This chaos that's happening right now, it's a symptom. It's a symptom. Humanity losing its mind. Your stream title on Reddit today is my area code. Are you calling out to me? 506? 506 is your area code? Maybe I am, Natalie. Maybe you were called into this space, you know. Maybe I was calling out and here you are. So yes, 506 is. There we go. 506, friend. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to smoke this bowl of marijuanas on this beautiful Saturday with you friends to remember myself. I don't even know what that means, and yet I want to. I want to fully remember myself. Try to remember yourself, friend. Like, we're here for 3 reasons: to serve, to love, and to remember. What are you forgetting? Who are you forgetting? What are you neglecting? Stop neglecting yourself. You deserve so much more. You deserve to eat meals that you've cooked for yourself with loving hands. You deserve to have conversations with friends that love you. Ooh, you deserve to move your body, be it with music or with exercise or just for a walk in the park. You deserve to look at trees and be inspired. Be flabbergasted by just the sheer beauty of everything around you. You deserve to remember why you're here. Why are you here, friend? Why are you here if not for love? You know, like, genuinely. It might be cheesy, but it really is the truth. We're not here for any other reason. Every single one of us are here to play the role, to be the expression of love. You're here to love. You're here to love. You're here to love, Shannon. I will join you. And may we remember it all. We're here. We're joined, friend. I had a thought about the time that the stream started that I must share. Please, Natalie. We're here with you, friend. Your dog is Pip. Elizabeth is Uncle Becky friend's dog. Oh, okay. Thank you, Miss Mouse. Whew. Went straight over my head. I detect a Safa accent. You have accurate equipment in that case. Like, detection usually happens with equipment, right? So yes, in fact, I am from South Africa. Brother man, PCA. Thank you for joining us, dude. Hello from Michigan. Also, beautiful hair. Thank you, friend. It grows this way out of my scalp. How about that? I was born on May 6th. It's nice to have you here, Taurus friend. So much love to you. Hey friend, I'm happy to see you. I'm injured and your vibe makes me happy. I don't know if it's your knee that got hurt, but like, that's the first thing that came to my mind. So even if your knee isn't hurt, if one of you friends have a hurt knee right now, I think my sister has a hurt knee right now, sending you loving vibes to your hurt knee. And even if you're like feeling you have a headache right now, try and breathe, you know, just for a second. Like, that feels healing to me. I thought of how transplanting a plant helps allow it to continue on. Damn it, my stream dropped. That's not cool. I guess that collective breath was too powerful for the internet to handle. It was like, bruh, got wrecked. Guess we're gonna have to start it up again. All those comments will be lost, but we'll start it up again. Even though the comments are the cost. Let's go. The remembrance is too powerful. Ski-deep, ski-bop boop, ska-pow. There we go, live again. You're that powerful. Emanating off of us all. And it's not just me that's powerful, Shannon. That's the trip. That's the trip. Like I am but a node. I am but like a person. I am but like a singular little expression of consciousness, right? And then I get to broadcast like waves from this single node of consciousness. But if I was just like broadcasting from this single node, I would only have that much reach, right? Like my antennae is only that strong. So the fact that you come into the space with me, wherever it is you are, now, and then it hits you, and then you're like, and then you can go into another person, and then we can literally create waves throughout the world. All of us are powerful beyond our understanding, even, but we just do not remember it. We do not recognize what we are and the power we have with our words, with our actions, with our body language, with everything. You are absolutely ridiculously powerful, friend. WB Melty. Welcome back. Thank you, Sovina. I appreciate you welcoming me back, friend, for holding the space for me while I tuned in. Thank you for the love. Peppermint, okay. Don't bump my water, Peppy. Yes, see, I literally like, predicted the future and saw it happening. Are you sirs? Are you sirs, Peppy? I remember who you are. I don't freaking remember. Come here, you silly thing. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Freaking silly thing. Okay, I think most of the water has drained. I'll have to dry it out again. Like she's done this so many times, and today I was like feeling kind of spicy, you know. I was feeling kind of, you know what? I still have some water left in my bottle, so I'm not gonna fill it up all the way again. You know, my glass won't get bumped over and I'll lose all my water. No, that won't happen, will it? No, no, it won't happen. She's like, what? What? You're gonna complain about some water? No, I won't. I'm joking. Hey, Merman, dude, I was thinking about you before stream today. Like, it's not that cold, and I thought that it probably will get cold as we're streaming, and I was like, I need to have Merman's Mermama blanket, you know, to keep me warm when it does get cold. And then I got so distracted just before stream that I was like, bro, I still know where it is. I'll probably still fetch it if it gets cold. But thank you for joining us, Merman. I hold you in my heart with the bear. So much love to you. I like your moon hair clip. Thank you. It's a prototype right now, Mononoke. It might get better, you know. Hopefully. Is that a married man I see? What is that? What's up, Mama? Mama Citas. I'm married. Also for Reddit dropped at least for me. Oh yes, it did, Isaac. Unfortunately. Literal waves. Natalie says, we have skills that many would want to exploit and we allow it, but don't thrive. But we can control how much we share and we can move ourselves, transplant ourselves. And it's upon remembering who we are that we no longer get told who we are, you know, and that's the real power that I'm trying to bring to the world. If you remember who you are, you are the one in control. You know, that's actually the gist of the message today. Damn it. Okay, bye, friends. When you remember who you are the one in control. Everything you do, literally. This breath you just took, why did you just take it? Why? You're like, the fuck, Mel? Because I want to live? Yes. Yes, you do. You want to live. So, if you want to live, why not want to live even more? Why not want to do even more? Why not go and explore even more? Why not try a different job? Why not, you know, a new hobby? Why not spend 10 minutes meditating today? You know, like see just how much more there is for you to experience outside of the realm of just our current distraction, illusion, you know, a little bit of both. You are, friend. You are, yes, you're powerful beyond understanding. Like legit, I understand, but in part. Like I understand fractions of all there is to understand. Like if there's like a big infinity symbol here, I understand like the small littlest, you know, slice of a corner of it, you know, and I'm like still trying to fill more of this infinity in my brain. More fractals, please, universe. All of the fractals. Meowdy Heroes, Avina, thank you for saying love. I appreciate you, Javan. Melty has turned into Mufasa. Remember who you are. Talking to Simba. Remember who you are, friend. Again, I feel like it bears repeating. When you remember who you are in control. And you always have been of everything. And I know. You're like, fuck, Mel, what did you just say? All of this stuff that I went through, all of this hardship, this current economic state, you know how hectic finances is right now? Like, I do. I do. And yet, here you are, still breathing, right? You're still choosing to live, obviously. So, why not appreciate that? Why not be in celebration of the fact that here you are, living, choosing to take your next breath, choosing to beat your next heartbeat, to think the next thought, to take another sip of water. Oh, goodness. We're going to change the world, friends, and it's going to take all of us. It's going to take you, and you might never have tuned into this space, and you're like, fuck, you don't know me. How can I help the world? How can you help the world? Exactly. Ask yourself that question, and you don't have to do what I'm doing. You don't have to do what anybody is doing. In fact, if you're going to do what everyone is doing, it's probably not going to be what you should be doing, right? Like, we don't need more of the same. We need you. We need who you are. We need your expression of love. We need you in your environment, talking to the people that you know, sharing love with them. That's what we need. That's literally all what we need. And remember that part of yourself. Remember that you're capable of that. Remember who you are, friend. Oh, this guy, so happy. I'm trying to be hungry ad, instead of trying not to be, trying to identify with the pain I've experienced, trying to identify with separation. I identify with the unity. And I know that you are too, That's why you see happy in me, friend. I love you. Thank you for joining us, Hungry Ad. Thank you, good Desperate Ad, for joining us as well. 2 ads in the same space. That's a lot of ads. Suddenly plugs my Patreon. Yeah, I want to feel feel like the same. Don't want to be the odd one out. Hey, so many friends on the YouTubes. I think I'm missing still a few. Who needs tears? Thank you for joining me. It's so nice to have you here as well. We can thrive if we allow ourselves, much like the plants, if we leave them to their cycle and treat them with respect. Just water them, allow them sunlight. Don't try and, block them from the beauty of the universe, and they'll see it. They'll reach for it even. She's such a spaz. I love it. She really is. Like, there's like multiple screws loose, and I feel maybe I'm like partly responsible. Like, I'm just imagining her as a puppy watching me jump around, like an absolute insane person with my dancing. And she's like, yes, okay, I remember. I'm remembering. Oh, what am I remembering? And now she's this way. So, yeah, I do love her to bits, though. She's taught me so much, so much, so much. All of the fractals, Winter Stork, literally all of the fractals, friend, and you're that fractal. Within the infinite universe, the fractal of Winter Stork, and Winter Stork has a whole life, right? Winter Stork has hopes and dreams for what he would like to see and experience in this world. Hopes and Stork might have or want a love. Winter Stork might have kids. Who knows? Winter Stork, has been through so much. And yet here he is in this moment. How is this moment going to continue changing Winter Stork? How is it going to continue changing me? Having met him, having imagined what his life might be like, her life might be like, their life. All of the inclusivities. Life. Just life. Thank you for joining me, friend. Thank you for acknowledging what you are. Do you have other socials? Yes, Hungry Ad. The social that I'm willing to plug is my Patreon. And you were like, oh, fuck. What's this, dude? What do you... No, dude. No, yes. So like, listen, there's a reason for that. So my Patreon is where I post my art, right? And I make art every day. You'll see what I'm wearing today folded into a fractaled flower as a work of art. And not only that, there will be like a little bit of a snippet trying to uh, loosely trying to encapsulate what we were talking about today. And then on top of that, maybe, a prompt. Like, what do you see? Do you see anything at all? Or do you just see the beauty for what it is? And I genuinely believe, and I had this experience yesterday with a divine feminine being where there was this transmission of what was being seen, you know? And that what's being seen makes us evolve. Like we can look at something and then we can hear someone see something in a certain way. And we can look at the exact same thing and see something else. Right? Let's just take a moment to understand the implications of that. Two people can look at the exact same thing. One of them share what they see, and the other one sees something else. Instead of seeing the same thing they just saw, hearing what you see, they see something else. And that is brain breaking, and I genuinely believe the more we allow ourselves to do that, the more people we expose ourselves to, and we have openness to learn from them, like seeing other beings as the teachers of our lives, watching how they love, watching how they create, watching what they say, watching how they see things, and by doing that, being able to see more of the infinite fractal of reality that you are a part of, that you play a fundamental role in. Jovan, they're talking about people who's playing fundamental roles. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Genuinely. So much love to you. And thank you for asking, Hungry Ad. There's like 20 squirrels playing around in a tree that I'm watching in the back here. It's wonderful. Rodent life. Ah, squirrels. I haven't seen too many squirrels in my life. Like, if I'm trying to count, maybe like 20 squirrels in my entire life or something. Most of the squirrels I've seen have been pets. We didn't have much squirrels here in South Africa. But I've been, fortunately privy to the internet. So like there's these amazing videos of squirrels just like losing their minds, you know, running around on things, like they have such a little chaos monkey energy to them. Like no rhyme or reason, just I'm gonna sprint in this direction, then I'm gonna roll over, and then I'm gonna get back on my feet and then sprint in the first direction with my face faces, and then I'm going to duck and weave, and then I'm going to run up a tree, then I'm gonna jump off of it, and then I'm gonna tackle this other dude, and then I'm gonna laugh at him and run away again. Squirrels. So like I'm there with you, Desperate. Thank you for allowing me to see into your world, friend. Dwaffle! Tips hat. How do you do, Brother Bay? Thank you for joining us. I've been thinking about you a lot lately, man. I appreciate you seeing so much. Yes, Grasshopper. I love you, brother. Thank you. I don't know. I can't see Grasshopper, but thank you, Miss Mouse, for sharing love. Or are you calling me Grasshopper? I like that as well. Thank you. Just join the Discord. Hungry Ad. Thank you for joining, friend. Thank you for the silver on the roam. That's nice of you, friend. Out of all of the people that you could have given silver to, and it's probably the free silver you had today, right? So in this day, in this moment, you had this one award to give, and something compelled you. In a moment, you felt like you wanted to give it to me. And then we go, Helio is doing the same. Like, why? Why would you be so loving, friend? What did I do to deserve something so nice of you? I appreciate it, and I wish I could give more credence and more acknowledgement of the power of even those things. I genuinely appreciate it. You friends are seeing what it is I'm trying to say, and that is what's most valuable, and I keep saying this to people, and I will continue to say this to people. Your ability to experience truth, this moment, understanding, is directly correlated and in relation to the depth of your being. the amount of work that you've done to explore the fractals of existence, and then upon hearing those fractals of existence expressed, you get to elicit information, you get to elicit understanding, you get to see. And I, to a lot of people, I'm crazy, I'm the crazy one. It's like, oh, y'all woo woo. Yeah, woo. Right? Like, and it's you, friend. It is you. Like, I'm making noises. I'm making noises like the same way the birds do. And because we don't understand the noises the birds make, they're just noise. They're just little songs. But if we understood in an intricate way exactly what certain frequencies, what certain tones, what certain, gaps meant in their little languages, we would be able to understand. We would be able to see what it is they're showing us. But because we haven't explored that far, and potentially we won't be able to. I'm saying potentially, kind of liberally, like maybe, like the fact that you understand me, like a bird chirping means that there's something that you've done. Huh? Remember who you are. You do know. Thank you for the silver as well, Helios. Again, thank you for the wholesome MSD. I appreciate that, friend. People seeing the same thing in different ways is the premise of the movie Rashomon by Akira Kurosawa. That sounds like an amazing movie. Thank you for sharing, Nancy. Would you like send me that name on my direct messages so I can actually copy it and search for it? Indeed, to you on the roam. Thank you again, friend. How old are you? You look very wise but young, so I'd estimate 25. I am. Like when I want to be like silly, if you will, the answer that my mind comes up with when people ask me how old I am is that I have no age, dude. I've been here longer than I can even fathom. I cannot fathom. Like infinity is the closest thing that comes even remotely, to what that actually is. But even infinity within our mental understanding of it is lacking. It's a fraction of the actual infinity, even though it's infinite. Brain, please, brain. Like my brain is like, no, dude. But my body is 24, officially 24, like 6 days ago or something, 7 days ago. So, still got lots of living to do, friend, and even more than we know. Even more than we know. This is the moment in our human existence where we start to remember who we are again. And that is going to have massive implications to the way that we continue living. And it's also going to have massive implications on the duration that we live for. When we remember that we are the infinite, we strive for the infinite in everything. So thank you, Hungry Ab, for seeing me, friend. My body is 24, if you're really curious. Man, it's getting cold! People seeing the same... Oh, thank you again. People seeing the same things in different ways is explained by Buddhists by emptiness. Doesn't mean nothingness, impermanence, and karma. That is right, Nanshin. But it's so present in a lot of things. It's present in Hindu philosophy as well. I don't know if it's present in the Christian religion that much. Yes, I'm gonna go and get my Mer blanket. Puppy, can I please stand up? Puppy, can I use my legs? Puppy, can I use my legsies? He's like, what is this? Where do I push the stop button? I didn't enter any tokens to get this right to activate. I think she might actually enjoy it. She does, don't you? Don't you, you silly thing? Ooh, it's so freaking cold. I'm gonna go get a blanket. Okay. Ugh. She's like, sick. My seat now. Fine. Keep it warm for me. produce some high quality content? Huh? Wow. Wow. People say they love you, Puppy. Yes, they say they love you. Oh, they love you so much. Oh, they love you. Ooh. Ooh. Loving the moon. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you so much. Like I got it like this. I got this idea in my head that was what I'm gonna do. Like after I took my cold shower, and it was brutal. Like they're getting more and more brutal. Last year around this time, I could not stand to still shower cold because the water was like coming out at like almost minus temperatures. Well, you know, close to freezing temperatures, let me say rather. And then I was like, yeah, uh, you know, I don't think I'm gonna keep doing this last year around. And so this year, I feel I have become so much more powerful in my mental ability to weather, you know, discomfort. Oh man, I'm getting my mer blanket dirty. Okay. Fortunately, I was just imagining it getting dirty, I guess. Oh, oh, that's already better. I mean, it has holes in it, which makes it less efficient. But fortunately, we have two of them. Okay, so I took this cold shower, and like I was really pushing myself. You know, like there's these walls that you hit where initially it's like your entire body is like screaming at you. It's like brr, 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 stop, and then you transcend that where your body is like, oh, it's just cold water. Instead of like thinking of it as a danger, it's just like, oh, it's cold water. You know, like there's a point of view that remembers what you are, your ability to keep yourself warm, and your understanding that you're not going to be in this forever. So being able to overcome that initial gut reaction, right? Like because on a survival basis, if you find yourself in cold water and you just stay there, you could potentially die of hypothermia. But we're not staying in the cold shower indefinitely, so we'll be okay. But being able to tell your mind that, tell your body that, is very much not easy. So I do like chanting at first, you know, like I'm grateful for you friends, I'm grateful for love, I'm grateful for the world, I'm grateful for my body, I'm grateful. And then I'm training myself in the most discomfort that I usually experience in my day to notice what I'm grateful for. And it's like a switch that you have to do, and then you get to this point of like, okay, I'm actually okay, and then you can kind of like make the most of it. And I also listen to Psytrance, so I like power dance in the cold water, and I feel like that's also another layer of like being able to be the expression of openness and expression in itself, instead of like closing off and trying to keep my energy for myself. And I got out of the shower, and I was like basically getting ready, and I had this moment of like realizing, I was like asking myself, uh like one of the manifestations that I did is that I know everything, you know, to like say that to yourself in relation to the I know nothing. Like I know nothing, and then you feel that acknowledgement, and then I know everything, and you feel that acknowledgement. And when I said I know everything, I felt like there wasn't truth, at least not to the extent that I would like it to be in that statement. And then I was like, I don't need to know everything. I just need to know who I am. And that is, you know, why we're talking about that today in stream. So, like while I was dancing in the shower, I was listening to this song called Moksha by Menumas. And in that song, like I found the song in the last dancing video we did. The last song automatically started playing, and there's like a picture of Shiva with a moon in his hair, like on that picture. And when I was dancing to it, I could feel something that I've never felt before, and acknowledging that, you know. So I finished my cold shower, got ready, went to my sister, told her I want a little crescent moon, you know, to put in my hair, and then I went and did my yoga. So she didn't have much time. So that's why it's a prototype, Nancy. Maybe it will, you know, be worn again, but probably not soon. People seeing the same thing different ways. Good morning, Eden. We finally found the man on the moon, or maybe the moon on the man. Much love, friends. Much love to you, Eden. Thank you for joining us, my beloved friend. Sending you and the little fruit cup so much love. How have you ever contemplated the age of your soul? Old, new, somewhere in between? like extreme age, like that's I have contemplated it, and I felt it in a way as well during the New Year's experience where I I'll be willing to share. On New Year's, I decided to take 4.44 grams of mushrooms, and I have like a little micro scale, so I make sure, I like break little bits off and make sure it's exactly 444. And I basically started off losing my cell phone. So this was at the end of the year of me streaming every single day for the whole year, or showing up every single day for the whole year, I should rather say. And there was this whole trip in me of like, am I doing the right thing? Like that question always comes up in us. Do I know who I am? Do I know where I am? Do I know who I am? Like what I'm doing? That those questions that come up in all of us. And I went into this psychedelic experience with those questions in mind. And I went to my room. I was like busy starting to enter the experience, step into the experience, melt into the experience, if you will. And that question got answered almost like I asked a teacher, like an actual teacher, and it like created this environment which would be the whiteboard, and then it started explaining to me, and it showed me my life, living the way that I've been living, doing what it is we're doing right now, without any change. Where I go to sleep, I eat food, I show up and I stream for you friends here on the farm forever. Like I never stop until I die. And then when I die, I'm like surrounded by loved ones, and I get to leave this world knowing that I've made a positive impact on those people's lives. And it shows me how I die. And it like sucks me out of that experience. And literally without like missing a beat, it went like sucked me out of the experience and then went back into another experience. And it showed me again, starting from that day, me doing everything. Instead of me doing nothing, everything that I could have ever imagined, all of it, like all of it. And my imagination is just kind of wild, like stuff that doesn't even make logical sense to my brain right now. It showed me doing it. Like, oh goodness, I'm tripping now just remembering. And it showed me the end of my life. Like having done all of these beautiful things, and it shows me again on my deathbed surrounded by loved ones, and I get to look at them and know that I've made a positive impact. And it sucks me out of it again. It's almost like the curtains close and it leaves me in this like blackness, right? Like void. And there's this question coming from the void that's like, what did you learn? And I just had this recognition that the people, you friends, are what matters. More than anything else, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're remembering who we are. And like that was something that I would never be able to, unacknowledge. And then with that recognition of like the only thing that matters is the people, I stand up, I was like in my room, kind of like isolated, tripping the fuck out. And I was like, you have to go and be with your parents, Mel. And I stand up and I go to the TV room where my parents were watching some movies for New Year's Eve. And I sat down with them and I watched movies with them. And during that time, like Pippi was still like kind of small, and then we had like a little other puppy, what's his name again? Simpson. Like he went to Zimbabwe where my dad is working right now. And there was this genuine recognition in me where there's these little beings, like literal brand spanking new. They're weeks old. Oh, yeah, maybe like 10 weeks old at most, the Simpson puppy. And now I'm in this moment nurturing them, right? Like they're on my lap in the blankets, and they're like so snuggly, and they know that they're safe, and they know that they're taken care of, and I get to, give them ear rubs. And there is like such a recognition in me of the oldness of my soul, of how many times I've come here to nurture. And that was when the true understanding consolidated with me that, oh, I keep asking how long I've been doing this for as well, friend. And I keep getting laughs for an answer. It's like, yeah, funny question. I'm like, but how long? And they're like, shit. Oh goodness, love those pants. Me too, Thwaffle. They're amazing. I have a big ass tear in my ass with it because it's not the best material, but I do love the way it looks. Unfortunately, you friends don't actively look at my bumps. Loving the mood again. Thank you, friend. Peekaboo, Pippy Pub, we see you. Oh, so much love is being sent. Such a cute doggo. I'm so happy, you know, so happy that you friend share that with me. Hi to you, Bunny. Thank you for joining us, friend. Hungry Ad. Wow, I've never watched anyone like this. I'm so at peace right now. I love this. As I love you, friend. Oh, more than anything. Literally more than anything. More than everything, technically. You know, I could. Instead of everything, this now. Let me say it that way, okay? Hmm? Yes. Where's your other horn? It's supposed to be a crescent little moon. So the way that it's supposed to be on my head is kind of like that, with the points pointing outwards, like that. You know, technically that would be the ideal way, but its flap is kind of like at the bottom. So if the flap was here, then it would have been like. But it's okay, and it's still a loving expression nonetheless. I love your name, right? Beautiful person as well. I like your wisdom. I like you, Distant. Thank you, friend. I've shared this before, and I just want to share it again. I'm a reflection. The reason you like my wisdom is because it's your wisdom. You're beautiful. Thank you, Ami. So much love to you, friend. I adore the Shiva moon. I adore you. Thank you, divine feminine beings, for joining me. Why? You are a strong soul, my friend. I'm trying to be. I really am trying to be, friend. Thank you for acknowledging me. Ooh. Sometimes we keep ourselves, and this is wisdom that was shared with me, and it's so beautiful. Sometimes we keep ourselves so strong that we break. You know, like we become brittle, and that's why I chose the name like Meltmore, is to remind myself of that softening, allowing for the warmth of my soul to melt some of the rigidity of my humanness, to remember to melt more. Like that word, those two words have become so trippy in my world. Like I cannot hear those words without absolutely tripping out. And I've chosen that as a name, which is the joke, So I'm gonna hear it so many times in my life. Every time, this whole fractal of understanding. What does it mean? How much can I remember? May I ask, what's the next step with yoga now that you finished your course? That's a good question, Ninja Peach, and thank you for asking it, friend. I don't know all of the steps, but for the time being, I am going to start taking over for Ryan the daily practice that I've been doing. So it's like a 15-minute yoga practice. And I also plan on starting Shanga. Sangha? Shanga? Basically a community get together where, there's a Zoom call and friends can join and we'll do like a little bit of a contemplation. And then after the contemplation, do a reflection, being able to share it with one another. And it's going to be through Ryan's business, and it's going to be on Sundays, but it is going to be a paid service. So a part of me doesn't even want to acknowledge that it's happening because I don't want you friends to pay for anything. I want to give you friends everything for free, but it's something that I want to do with Ryan, for the soul. Like Ryan has been such a beautiful expression of giving love in this world that I want to be even more of the same. Thank you for asking again, Ninja Peach. I do also plan on sharing some potential yoga videos. Damn it, my water is finished. On the Patreon. That way we can make the Patreon even more valuable to the friends that do choose to support us. I want to like start making kind of like almost like dancer size. I like to think of it as ecstatic dance, what I do, but kind of like bringing the fundamentals of my movements, to repetition. So the way, like lifting your legs, in a rhythmic pattern, stepping on the beat, if you will, but then lifting your knee as high as you can or as high as you feel comfortable with, and then doing that in repetitions, arm movement. Like, I have like a whole thing in my head, and I'm still kind of working on that fractal, and it is developing slowly but surely. But I do believe that if I can teach people how to dance and I can get people to exercise, like even for 10 minutes a day, right? Like we have evidence that if you can get your heartbeat up for 15 minutes a day, that literally causes your heart rate or your potential for heart failure of all the different, symptoms, it drops by 50%. That's a lot. That's a lot of infinity. Like the whole other side of the infinity, you're more likely to be okay. So I would like to be able to provide something like that as well. And to make it fun. Like that's the biggest thing with exercise for me. Is it's so difficult to get yourself there in the first place, right? Like it's not so bad to exercise in and of itself, but to get yourself to the space in which you actually start exercising, that is the most difficult part. So I feel like it's one of my responsibilities as well to make it fun, to try and make movement fun again in a way that people will really want to, and in doing so, take care of themselves. I feel that too. I need to melt more. Love that name and the meaning behind it. Equal T. The meaning behind it grows continuously. Like I have a list at this point of all of the things that melt more means to me, and I have like a asterisk, new asterisk, and like there's I think like 7 more entries since the last time that I read, the meanings to you, friends. So stick around, Equal T. We'll continue to melt more, friend. I do this every day for you, friends, and for me. We're growing together in a way that we can literally share it with one another now. Never before in existence have we had access to this much love. And that love is going to change us. It is going to make us remember just how much we are capable of loving and how much we deserve being loved authentically. Like this is showing us something that we can never unsee. We're remembering something we can never unremember. We're realizing that we're capable of love and we're capable of expression and we're worthy of that love and expression. And we're going to set our standards accordingly. What are the classes and how do you pay? Distant Blueberry. Like there's a site you can go and check it out. I wish that Ryan was here right now so I could, have him send you the information. But Soul of Yoga, is it Soul of Yoga? Yeah, Soul of Yoga, .com. It's in San Diego. You should be able to find the site, and it is going to be online, at least the shangas that we're going to be doing. So like the classes are going to be there, friend, but we do have a Patreon, like that is where I'll be doing more of the same stuff there. I want to be able to give beauty, and that is what the Patreon is for as well. Like I've been able to share the most trippy stuff, like I genuinely trip out looking at my works of art. So, and I might be biased, of course, but the fact that I can even create a fraction of that in someone else, create a different fraction of the infinity of that in someone else is such a blessing. And I would like to, make them completely available, but I feel like the Patreon could be such a beautiful way for me to actually make a decent living, in the long term, and for as little as $1 as well, so like anybody can really do that. I feel being able to have access to 30 flowers a month, 360 flowers a year, and then being able to see something new, being able to read something if you want to, being able to experience a side of the infinity that has never been experienced before. $1 a month, I feel is pretty, pretty acceptable for that. So thank you, Distant, for even considering it, friend. My friend, there's nothing wrong with earning a wage to share your craft. Thank you, Eden. Exactly the words I needed to hear. I needed to remember that, and you were that expression. I appreciate that so much. I'm I'm living into my abundance, more so than ever. Really more so than ever. And I'm going to continue doing that. And the more abundant I become, the more abundant everybody around me becomes. And I remember that. Like I feel it's almost like a superpower. Like when we become abundant and we share that abundance with one another, everybody becomes more abundant. Right? And we're doing that. Like we're already doing that in this very moment. I'm often told you have to charge for your time, but I do not feel, but I too not feel you can't. Your time is precious, but I too struggle with this. Yeah, fine. It is difficult, friend. It really is difficult, but whew, I'm starting to believe that I am worthy of that. And it's something that I have to use discretion with as well, because the way that I see it at this point in my life is that I'm fortunate enough to have parents that are willing to take care of me, like I have a place to live, I have food to eat, and I can do this as a gift, to myself and to humanity. And if I have phone calls with people, there's so much beauty shared in those moments that that beauty will in turn help them continue to grow into the infinity as well. So that is that is technically the value proposition for me. So it's not so much like, oh, this is I'm gonna use this much of my time, and technically my time is worth $5 billion, a minute. But instead of thinking of it, in that context of like the financial gain, I think of it as in the context of the soul gain, energy being shared between two beings, recognition being shared between two beings, encouragement of one another's life paths being encouraged, and how that is actually going to change the world in the grand scheme of things, when it's not necessarily realistic for a person to realize the financial aspect of that equation, right? So if they can't, then this potential growth might not be had. So I would rather forego the financial implication for now, at least, for as long as I feel I will continue to give, completely, ceaselessly, and not expect anything in return. And I don't. Again, I don't expect anything in return. I've already gained more than I could have ever imagined with the love that you friends have like sent me, the recognition. Like that is something that money cannot buy. Money cannot buy love. And we have shared love with one another in a way that even if I earned, $5 billion a minute, I wouldn't have been able to buy it. So thank you. Thank you, friends, just for the love that you share. I'm working on it, fine. Little by little, we're getting better at it. But I get why it's hard. I've just justified earning money from helping people because the government pays my wage. I feel less horrible knowing the man pays me, but ultimately they get their money from the people, so there's no winning. Ah, there is. There is, Ninja Peach. We're the ones that are gonna start winning. Instead of the money coming from the man, it is gonna come from the people, but the people are going to be the ones that has the money. Instead of the man being the one that mitigates and holds the money for us, we're actually gonna be the ones with the money, and that's the change that we're making right now. Melting has become important to me. Waffle, you have become important to me, friend. Thank you for showing up so much that I can't help but, you know, want the best for you, want to see you thrive, want to see you learn even more, want to see you just become your best self. Thank you so much, Aunt B. I appreciate the support, the the Meltmore Patreon tag. So much love to you as well. Do you teach Kundalini yoga? I don't, Pine. I don't. Kundalini yoga, even to me, is a little bit extreme. Like I get super loopy, if you will, when I do stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe at some point. What are you smelling? You smelling something? You smelling? I don't know if you can see her properly. You smell something? Okay, puppy. I'll see you a little bit later. Seems my stream little micro dropped or something. It's genuinely difficult when you're in it to help people, but it's part of the world, and hopefully that part will change someday. You can't help others if you don't help yourself. It's true. It is true. And I feel I'm helping myself by not being so serious, Eden. Like I'm 24 now. I have friends who have bought their second house and have cars and are getting married and have children. And I was so serious at one point in my life about that and the fact that I didn't have any of those things that I created a sense of urgency in me, a grasping for it, right? And fortunately, I'm helping myself by being less serious. I'm helping myself by actually not caring about that bullshit. I can live into the remembrance of who I am and why I'm here instead of being told who I am and why I'm here. I'm not here to earn houses. I'm not here to earn cars. I'm not here to earn fucking numbers. No, I'm here to love. And in that way, I am helping myself more than anything. So all I can help but do is help you friends as well. And I know that sounds pretentious. I'm sorry if you're like, what the fuck you think? We can help one another just by seeing one another. Like you being helped doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. We can do your growth for you. We can't heal for you, but you don't have to do it alone. That understanding. We love you, Eden. Thank you, friend, for being a loving presence in the world. Talking about loving presences in the world. Uncle Becky joining us. Dude, I was so happy to just tune in for a moment on your stream. So much love to you and the Frog. The Frog himself. Saying love, Brother Bay. Thank you so much for joining us. Wait! It's been forever since I've seen you, friend. Thank you for joining us. If you don't make money to support yourself, you can't help others. That's true, Wait. I'm going to make money, friend. I'm gonna make more money than I know what to do with, and then I'm gonna just start giving it away haphazardly. I'm gonna be like, oh, you want to start a business? Here, have a few $1 million. What? Contracts for what? Why? I believe in you and you can make it happen. Like that's how much money I will have one day, friend. And I'm okay, waiting even if it takes me a trillion lifetimes to be there because I already am. I already am, friend, as you are as well. As you are as well. Wait, we're doing it, friend. It's gonna take time. It is gonna take time, but we are doing it. My friend and I exchange on Wednesdays. Thank you for sharing that love, Nancy. I'm so happy to hear it. Is it the light buddy you're talking about? I agree. I have the right mindset. You're not doing it to sit on piles of wealth. You're doing it to spread love and awareness. Exactly. Sitting on piles of wealth doesn't work. Like it doesn't bring happiness. It doesn't bring security. It just gives you more shit to worry about. And the reason I want to be financially abundant is so that I can help more people. In a way that I would have wanted to be helped. And that is that. Just thinking about that, I'm like, yes, that makes perfect sense to me. So when we die, we give all of our chips back. Even this one, give it back. Uncle Becky says something so beautifully, and it's been sticking with me, ever since he said it. Like you cannot take anything. You can take this breath. And even that you have to give back. We're not here to take. We're here to give. We're here to give. One of my favorite quotes is don't take life so seriously. We never get out alive or something like that. It's a good one, Equal T. And it's true. It is true. Like we literally ruin our lives. We ruin our experience of life, grasping at what we think life is supposed to be, like completely forgetting that life is what's supposed to be. You living, you being in this moment is what's supposed to be. Hey, Chip Cheap. You want to see the burp? Let's see if he wants to be shown. See him? Damn it. Reddit dropped my stream again. I guess the burb didn't want to be seen. YouTube friends saw him though. He was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use my mental energy, drop the stream from the other side of the world. Powerful little burb he is. Explain humanity to aliens versus what they would observe as they see us harvest plants and animals alike. Their thoughts shared. I mean, like aliens will probably be doing the same thing. Unless they just eat pure energy, like me and Christian have had that conversation as well. Like they just like eat magnetic energy or something, or they power themselves over the magnetic energy in their environment, and then they see us, mashing things with our our face teeth, our face stones, into a pulp and then swallowing it to generate energy from it, and it's just like absolutely horrified, like, you do what? You do what to those plants? What are you gonna do to those plants? Stop it! Stop it! I feel that, Natalie. What's up, Amasitas? Married man again. Thank you for the bet. Thank you so much. As you're talking about again, the Reddit drops again. Congrats, Isaac. Love your married man. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Mel. I can't stay long out. Gotta go to brunch, but I'll catch up with you all soon. Love to the world. Love to all. Love to you. Thank you so much, Isaac. I hope your brunch is amazing, friend. I want to live. You are. You are alive, Shannon. You are so alive. Thank you for joining me. Isaac, your anniversary is 1 month, 1 day before mine now. Will you remember, Natalie? Next year around this time, we have to congratulate him on his first year of marriage. I can hear in my kids' spirits when they are not themselves and they're being influenced by someone else. Yeah, it's literally them forgetting who they are and then creating this new narrative around, like, taking their soul and then adding these little stories around it, and the more stories we add, the further away we get from the fundamental essence of who we are. I have always encouraged independent thought, and it is a trip to help them navigate their own way when paths like that are placed in front of them, and it will continue to be placed in front of them. It will continue to be placed in front of them, and the frequency at which they will continue to face those challenges will increase exponentially. That's the trip, So you're doing as much as you can right now, friend. You're trying. Just by like noticing it, you're already trying. Once you master self-control and detachment, nothing can phase you. This code is my screensaver for daily reminder to meditate and remain free-flowing. Once you master self-control and detachment, nothing can phase you. Once you master self-control and detachment, nothing can phase you. Detachment is melting. Self-control is doing more. Locked in my brain. Thank you, Peppermint Mononoke. Also, I forgot this. Love for Siobhan. Thank you, Natalie. I spend at least 5 minutes looking at your fractal flowers every day. I absolutely love them. And you're evolving faster than most as a result of it, Shannon. Like, legitimately. And I've seen it. And I might be a little bit pompous to say something like that, but I've literally seen it in you. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. You've just been becoming yourself more and more. You've been seeing yourself more and more. And literally to the point where now you know what it is, is coming next. And just that has been so inspiring. I'm inspired to make fractal solar light. I like that, Natalie. Please do. Meltmore, is that a feather in your hair? Uncle Becky was saying about 40 minutes ago that he noticed the feather is gone from Mother Tree. Puppy show time. It's not a feather, but we can say it is. It can be the expression of a feather. Light scarf or blanket, then it is brochade blanket. I am known for layering for warmth. It's beautiful for me as well. Like, I love layering for warmth. It makes me feel safe in some like weird way. And it makes me feel cool for some reason as well. Like, if I have like multiple blankets stacked around my body and it hangs off and it has these, little fractal folds as it, swoops down, it like makes me feel like a badass for some reason. I really like that song. Mm, mm, mm. I do not know what song it is right now. Oh, the mock show one. Thank you so much, Shannon. All I knew it. I was thinking that when the moon is in your hair, I was supposed to be like, yeah, that was my expression as well. You know, and like being influenced by the fractals that show themselves in our lives. It is weird that I like the dual chats as it serves a small circle back for anyone who joined halfway through the thought, all of the possibilities after none, and all of the fractals connected just to seem so bright and clear instead of only a few in focus at a time. When you said Zimbabwe, I heard in your dad's voice right before you mentioned your dad. Oh, goodness. Like when I said Zimbabwe, I imagined my dad has been to Zimbabwe before, Natalie, and that like this is trippy to me. He's been into Zimbabwe before, and then he came back here, and then he spent like 5 years not working, you know, and then now he's back in Zimbabwe. And when I said Zimbabwe, I imagined that he is supposed to be there to do conscious work as well, and to be a node of consciousness in that space for Zimbabwe, for the people of Zimbabwe, for the energy of Zimbabwe. And yeah, that's trippy. That's so trippy, Natalie. Thank you for sharing that, Mel. We love you, as I love you, friends. Like the love that we have for one another is more real than anything I've ever experienced. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much. Now I see it as a crescent moon. There we go. Thank you, Natalie. It's interpretive dance style. It definitely is. I do interpret a lot. Self worth isn't measured with money. I feel making and earning from your skills has been misconstrued as greed when things are meant to cycle between us all. No, man, no, okay, not at all, friend. Not even remotely. Like there's no greed. The only thing that's happening right now is that there's so much uncertainty happening right now, and people want to feel safe. So you can call that greed, but I recognize it as the one for safety and the one for security. So I'm fully aware and not judgeful of it. Sharing nourishment is different ways, as we say, what goes around comes around. That it does, man. Okay, tenfold. Literally, I've seen it happen more times than I can explain at this point. Like giving always, is worth it. Not even because you're going to receive, but just because that is actually what we want to be doing. It feels good to give. It feels good to be good. I agree, and I felt that Meltmore would fit in well with some of the off grid and artist communities I know because he would be able to both exist and have an ability to earn a living through their art. That is the hope. That is the hope, Natalie. And Pippi, can you please make a decision? Like she's like standing up, looking at things, trying to lay back down. I love you to bits, little doggy dog. You just need to relax. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Look at this. Yeah, look at them clouds. Yes, so much color. I mean, the YouTube is not gonna do it justice, but that is something, huh? This is the fractal I've been influenced by during today's stream. Just seeing Mother Nature being like exploding right above me. Insane. Absolute insanio style. The one friend somewhere in infinity that understands that joke. Love you. Yes, art, culture, philosophy are needed in culture and humanity to bond. That endeavor must be supported throughout history, or we lose parts of ourselves. Yeah, it literally is happening. We've already seen it happen, and at the same time, there's a part of ourselves that's fighting against it. But in the current society that we've been brought up in, artists aren't seen as valuable contributors to society, and yet what society does most of their free time is consume art. So it's this super weird paradox. Uh, I think Reddit dropped. That it did. It's okay, Savina. Now we're here on the YouTube, little close knit community, a little bit more intimate, if you will. You probably really like a weighted blanket. I probably would, Shannon. I probably really would. And I've thought about getting myself one, but I don't know where to. It's a different feel, but I could do a weighted blanket as a middle layer on the winter blankets. I don't know if I'd sleep under a weighted blanket. I might, you know, like take a weighted blanket with me somewhere and then have it as an experience, but I don't know if I'll use it. I mean, I'm like just speculating, of course, but that's the first other thing that came to mind. Like it's something you can use as a tool almost. Making art and loving Yell quietly. Thank you so much for being your divine feminine expression, Jovan. Thank you so much. Actively growing those little fractals in your brain to be able to elicit information from nothing. Literally a blank page. Something. Even if it's a fucking stick figure. Beautiful. Something instead of nothing. And if you can just, get past this judgment we have of ourselves, we can do so much more. When we remember who we are, we can do so much more. Feeling your love, Joe. Thank you for that. Shannon, so beautiful. Can't sleep without my weighted blanket. Now I need to try one. Damn it, Shannon. Damn it. I don't need more things. And my brain is like, you want a weighted blanket? Yeah, I do. I do want a weighted blanket, but I don't need a weighted blanket, okay? Oh, so many birds are like singing their songs right now. I think that bird knows I'm mocking him a little bit. Thank you so much for joining me today, friends. Man, this is an interesting stream for me. I was kind of like mildly anxious before today's stream, and that's not something that usually happens. And I understand why now. I understand why. My ego was like, brr, please. And it's the part of my ego that doesn't want me to acknowledge anything, that wants to keep telling me that I'm not worth more than dirt, The part is like, your logic says that you are made out of mostly earth crust. You're not special. And I'm like, yeah, sure that, but also melting. Also the part of me that's melting, the part of me that's not rigid. So Lanka, do you feel a little better melt? I do, like mountains, so much better. Again, remembering can be a little bit tense sometimes. I could sense some tension. There was some tension, Shannon. It melted away. As soon as we show up for ourselves, as soon as we show up for what we believe in, as soon as we show up for love, that, melts away. All of the tension melts away because we're like, yeah, I'm doing it out of love. We're so powerful. All we have to do is show up for love. And if we keep doing that, we keep doing it in a way that we can show people that they can do it, and they show up in a way that other people can do it. Within 22 years and 22 months, the world will be unrecognizable. In the same way that a budding flower, the little spike that it creates, is completely unrecognizable to the full bloom. We're in the bud stage right now, friends. And before the bud opens up, it becomes tense and pressurized and angsty. There's no room in here. opens up and a beautiful little flower might get a little bit more tense, might get a little bit more bumpy, you know, but we are opening up. We just have to believe in that side of ourselves. I'm sure it has been. Those days are challenging, having to understand that part of ourselves. It really is, man. Okay. So much love to you, friends. Thank you for checking in. I must leave here now. I'm leaving as well. Natalie, thank you, friends, for sharing this space, sharing this moment. You see, Shannon. We know that we know that we know, as we know that we know that we know. You know, you know. Thank you for knowing with me, friends. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. Thank you for remembering who you are. Keep remembering, friends. If we keep remembering, we'll keep remembering. And then maybe we'll remember some more. Yes, love you. Have a great day, Melton. Friends, have a great day. Beloved human beings, thank you so much. Thank you so, so much. Eternal love to you all.